bit later than usual, but, well, last night was just me doing some side questing, more of this job. I know it's boring, but this has pretty much become addictive to me. I'm going to build up some fans before I even bother taking on. God damn it, cat. Come on, down. Good boy. Go, Hibiki. Ciao. Yuki just has so many skills at this point, it's not even fair. Hey, Ian. Hello, Ian. Hey. Ah, there you are. How you doing? How you doing, dude? Oh, is there a problem with the microphone? Oh.
Hey.
Hey, sorry, was there something wrong with the microphone?
Yeah, I was just saying because when I logged on, it's like I couldn't hear you.
Oh.
So what I did was
unplugged it and plugged it in again.
Yeah. So what I did was took it out, put it back in again, but that didn't work, and so it just turned out that somehow the volume was turned down.
Oh, okay. Odd. Well, I did a bit of questing last night while it was late night. I actually managed to do the most annoying goddamn minigame in the entire game, and got a new hostess. Hey, cat. So yeah, I've now got a disco girl as a hostess now. Oh yeah, did you have any more ideas for the Don Quixote thing?
So how's it going?
Yeah, it's good. It's going good. Sorry, I was just asking. Have you have you come up with any more for the Don Quixote, the modern day Don Quixote?
Oh yeah, I've come up with more stuff.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Like what?
Well, I figure out how we're gonna like you know, the in part.
All right.
So what happens was he gets lost and he arrives at a hotel.
Right.
And well, it's like at night.
Right.
And what's happening is that at the hotel there are like two things happening at once. There's like it's like in the conference room there's like a meeting for medieval reenactors. That's how he was able to gain access. And then and at the same time, like in the dining room, well, the big dining room area, it's like there's a prom going on.
Right.
And so it's like as he's going in, it's like the people's like, "Oh, you must be here for the medieval reenactment group." They're in the conference room, but he ignores that and goes into when they're not looking, he ignores that, and then he goes into the ballroom area where the prom is happening, and he thinks he's in a room full of lords and ladies. And so, and as all this is going on, well, he's just reached the moment where they announce the prom king and queen, and he thinks they're actually the king and queen.
Ah.
And like Don Quixote, he thinks he can't officially start his adventures without being properly knighted. So as they just announced the prom king and queen, he just goes up to them and, you know, takes a bow and being all respectful. It's like, "Oh, your wondrous majesties, I humbly request to be knighted, so I start my adventures as a knight errant." And they're like, "Okay, right," and of course they're high school kids and they think he's like an absolute weirdo. Of course, and well, not at first. They just think he's kidding. You know, he must be from like the other room. But the more he gets into his story, the more serious he's sounding, and they just think, okay, something's wrong with this guy. And that's when one of the teachers who's like looking after like things comes up to him and is like, "Excuse me, I don't know who you are, but you really need to leave, because you know, because being a responsible adult, you got to like check if the kids are in danger of someone who's like either drunk or high." But unfortunately for this teacher, He's wearing like a leopard skin suit.
Oh god.
And so when our modern day Don Quixote sees him, he thinks he's like this half man, half leopard creature.
Of course he does.
Yeah, and he's like, "I'll protect you, your majesties," and then attacks him.
Oh dear.
And everything like escalates.
Because it must.
Yeah, and it's like a bunch of guys are like trying to like get him off the teacher, and it was like, "Help, help!" It was like these some of these lords and ladies are possessed by demons. And then of course the prom king is like it's like okay, doesn't want, he wants to get rid of this guy, and the only way he can do so is just to give him what he wants. And so he agrees to knight him. He knights him, and he's like, and then he leaves.
Oh, good. Well, we're staying true to some of it, and we are making it more modern then.
Yeah.
So I've just got to sort out something. There's been a problem with my bank, so I've just got to sort that out real quick. Sorry, it shouldn't take long. Okay. Good Lord. Oh, for God's sake, Charlotte. £15 Great British Pounds. Zach. Right then. So I gotta get a verification code. I'll be right back. There it is. Oh, never mind. I just suddenly got it. Sorry, I usually get no signal in here. It's just my friend requested some money for Halloween for her Easter present.
Yeah.
And my dyslexia kicked in, and I misread something and almost sent 15 quid to the wrong place. Okay, now back to this. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Most unprofessional of me. Also, I've heard they're looking into changing the laws for Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Basically, there's talk about actually making the promises made a legal binding document, so that because there's been too many people using it to scam people.
Yeah.
Because as you know about the Phil Fish incident from years ago, don't you?
Oh yeah, I know the Phil Fish incident.
Well, he was the first major one, but there was also a certain prominent figure I don't want to mention online. Basically, claimed fuck tons of money and then never used any of it for the project they said they would, and have actually never finished their project and are still taking on new projects. And 2 years ago, someone basically raised. They needed the story goes that they needed $65,000 for a game. At least that's the story. They needed $65,000 for the game to be made. They got $85,000, and even to promote things, they even said they were going to hire people who wouldn't get work otherwise. By that they meant people who had the skills for the job, but ultimately wouldn't get hired for discriminatory reasons. Which sounded nice. However, 2 years passed, there was no word on the game, and then I think last year, the person who started the Kickstarter sent a tweet from Japan talking about how they were spending they were having funds, having a spending spree in Japan. Then made a post to pretty much say, on the Kickstarter page, to say, sorry, there's no more money left.
Oh my god.
Basically, they didn't pay, and what made it worse is that earlier this year, a couple of the former employees came out and said that they were never paid a penny for any of their work. Like, they were called into work and told that, they'll be paid, they'll be given all this. They were given no money. They were subjected to extremely abusive environments, work environments, because some of them were trans. So they were put into situations, and when they were given an outlet to, talk to the boss or a HR department, they were ignored constantly, or they were just, they were given a stock answer from an automated email. Some of these people are also homeless now, because they were literally relying on the job to be able to afford to, pay for their, pretty much everything. But they mentioned that they're now homeless, they have nothing to go on, and the way they see it, they were grifted. Pretty much they were told, it'll work this way. You'll make this, you'll make this, you'll make this. They got no money for it, and the person is now taking more and more projects on by Kickstarter, still not telling people what's happening with the game. As far as they're concerned, it's cancelled, but again, all these people were told, you're not getting any more work. They did try to report it, but apparently the person in question has so many friends in the media that when the journalist did try and publish the story, he was told if he published a story based on that person, he would be fired, because they don't want to deal with that drama. Though, another fun fact, Jim Sterling was also a voice actor in the game. Or he'd submitted his voice for the game, he's just never brought it up. Well, he did bring it up at one point that he was doing some voice acting for a few game projects, but he's never mentioned this one particular project. He was called out on it last night, though. It was all over my Twitter page of people asking him, "You were involved in this. Where is the game? Why haven't we heard anything in 2 years?" The short answer given by some people was that Jim won't say a bad word about people. He will say bad words about big companies. He won't say anything about people who are his friends. Like, he will stay completely quiet. He's also terrified of going against this one person because it would cut off most of his things, because he's already blacklisted from the game industry to begin with. Which is a thing. He has said he's been blacklisted by Konami and various other game companies because he's upset them. If you've ever seen Randy Pitchford's... Well, Randy Pitchford fucking hates him. But Randy's also the guy who had that underage squirt porn. Yeah. Needless to say, a lot of us do not like Randy Pitchford. Oh, he also attacked a voice actor as well. That was a thing that caught my attention. He got mad because a voice actor demanded to be paid for his services, so he pinned him to the floor and punched him out. Oh, just got something back. Okay. Okay, confirmation. It's gone through. Right. Okay, just had to make sure everything was through. So, yeah. I do remember Jim talking about he was doing a lot of voices and he has actually been in a few things, but this was the one project he's never spoken about.
I think... I mean, I can't remember.
But he mentioned he was in a few games and he is credited as one of the voices in the game and he even promoted it. But as soon as the game stopped making any news, he just stops talking about it, and whenever it's brought up, he blocks the people who bring it up. Or he just goes completely quiet. Because my friend did ask him a couple of months ago, because she contributed something like $10 towards it, and has heard nothing about the entire project. Apparently it was a big deal. It was something. It was like based off a book or something.
Oh, so
and said that what?
What is this game?
I'll have to look it up. I'll have to look up what it's called, because I know I've got it. I know I've got it somewhere. I know I've got it. I know I saw it on my timeline last night, and my friend shared it with me. So I'll have to have a little look for it. But the story, as far as I've heard, is the game was announced, nothing came of it, and everyone involved, especially the ones who promoted it, have stayed very quiet about it. Although the only news we've been given is apparently they ran out of money, but the money didn't go towards ever paying towards the project, according to people who claimed to have been working for them, saying that they never got paid a penny for any of their work. They were used purely as free labour, and then tossed aside as soon as they dared to ask for any kind of monetary compensation. And the person who started the Kickstarter basically spent the money going to Japan. So they basically had a little holiday for themselves, according to them.
This is why I don't do crowdfunding.
I don't do well, my major... You know what turns me off crowdfunding? As hilarious as it is?
What?
Shenmue. Shenmue turns me completely off. Okay, it's a... Last I've heard, it's a Chuck Tingle's FMV dating sim. Hold on, let's see. Chuck Tingle... All I'm getting is Chuck Tingle FMV dating sim. I don't know what that is, and if it's significant to people. Apparently it was big enough that people were willing to spend quite a lot of money on it. Again, they said they needed $65,000, but also, you know, they've apparently spent all that money, and none of it went on the project. But apparently, from what I've heard, Kickstarter campaigns don't have to give you anything. Like, you're just... But there's been talk about them trying to change the law so that it's to make it a legally binding contract. So, because then it will mean that the people investing money are technically or legally seen as investors. Also, there's a new wrestling game on the Switch.
Right.
Also, there's another game coming out called The Wrestling Code, but it's going to be made up of older imagine Legends of Wrestling, but all of the legends are alive. Well, Lance Storm and Rob Van Dam have been confirmed, and guess who confirmed himself yesterday?
Who?
Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and the Sandman's on there as well, although I'm pretty sure that won't matter. But when I saw Scott, I'm like, okay, if this game has a create mode, then I think we both know who we're creating in the game.
Yeah.
Ollie's definitely going in. Hello, if you hear me. Well, that's how he announced himself into the game. Hello, if you hear me. You what?
I just can't seem to get over that title.
What, the wrestling code?
No, the Chuck Tingles.
Is it because there's a kids' TV thing called Mr. Tingle?
No, because when I hear the word Tingles, I think of something else.
Of course you do.
Not like that.
Well, you say that, but yeah.
No. When I think of, you say it's a dating sim, so it's making me think that this is a dating sim involving ASMR.
Actually, you're not that far off, because the thing with this particular person who makes these games is they have literally no animating skills whatsoever. So they tend to use live action people.
So yeah, so whenever I think of the word tingles, I think of ASMR.
Basically, yeah, well, it is pretty much that. It did look like that, or at least that's the image I've gotten from the screenshots they were giving. But again, no real progress was ever made on it, because they literally announced the project, announced they'd overshot their goal, and then just went silent for 2 years.
Yeah.
But again, the only thing that keeps it relevant is the person in question, who cannot be questioned no matter what, because she was involved in something major that, you know, people on the internet just can't shut the fuck up about. Ashtray. And also that Laura Kate Dale and Jim Sterling contributed money. It doesn't help my friend absolutely doesn't like Jim, but she doesn't see him as problematic like Bob. She just sees him as a hypocrite. And the fact that he protected Laura Kate Dale when she lied about being misgendered, and then made money off of it. Give expensive gifts. So, but on more positive things, the Don Quixote thing.
Yeah.
I've been thinking a bit more on modern day things, so I was thinking, what's in fantasy stuff that could be attributed to the modern world? And one thing came to me: wise women, the wise man / wise woman, and witch doctors.
Okay.
Well, I'm thinking that maybe, because if you remember in the book, or at least in the bits I saw from the overly sarcastic thing, they do try, at one point, they do have to bring him home, and they do try and get him some mental help, even if that does involve them blocking off his library. But I was thinking at some point they could, like, get really concerned because he's, you know, acting really bizarre. So they do something along the lines of try and get a doctor to see him. And he thinks the doctor is like some kind of wise woman or a witch.
Hi.
Oh. I'm thinking of other things, like him going to a tavern to look for info. Or him seeing roadworks equipment instead of the windmills. Him seeing roadwork equipment and thinking it's a dragon or a behemoth of some kind. And charges into a construction site. Also, if the horse, one idea for the horse that he takes, I know you said something about it being like it's seen better days. Like, what if it's one of those horses that's about to be sent to the knackered yard? is about to be, sent to the glue factory. He just nicks it.
Yeah.
Also, he's got to think. We've also got to do the whole him thinking he has a nemesis of some kind. I know it's not right to laugh at the mentally ill or anything, but with Don Quixote, it's hard not to laugh at, the things he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, again, I think doing a modern Don Quixote is a great idea, purely because the book has been taken out of context so badly, and not even just in the modern day. I mean, again, didn't the original writer completely lambast the sequel? Like, he didn't like their version of redoing it, their version of. You got a little frustrating, didn't you?
Not bad.
Oh, you didn't mean it, though.
Okay.
You just wanted to dance and have fun and watch Majima dance. I mean, who doesn't want to see Majima dance? But yeah, it was all in aid of getting this one guy, one girl. Give the girl a reward. Lady's glass. I mean, also, another thing that came to mind now I remember it, what are we going to do about the other characters? Like the Don Fernando thing.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I know, but I'm thinking that it's something we really need to consider at some point is the other stories, because again, as we've mentioned, the fun things are that there's this really rich story and this really heartwarming stuff that happens, but none of it is about Don Quixote, so he doesn't care. I can't wait for the destruction of the friend zone bit, the guy who dies, and then they blame the woman. And she just turns up at the funeral to pretty much tell people, look, I know I'm hot, but that does not mean that you're entitled to me. I did nothing wrong except say I wasn't interested. Yeah. That's like the best part of that's like one of my favourite parts of the entire story, that she pretty much destroys the friend zone. Oh, and apparently they've shown what the contracts are like for WWE. They are fucking atrocious. I mean, it might interest you to know that apparently Paige is currently at war with WWE.
Oh.
From what I understand, from what I've read, her and Zelina Vega have been talking a lot recently about unionisation, and WWE have sent a cease and desist to Paige to stop her Twitch streaming. Because she's using a name and everything, and they don't want their wrestlers to do that. Paige, however, has told WWE to jog on.
Yeah.
And she's keeping all of her revenue stream, and she's keeping a name apparently, so WWE are very angry with her.
Yeah.
Personally, I say more power to you, Paige.
Yeah.
She even really, really tried to push WWE's buttons by having Zelina Vega turn up on one of her streams. If that ain't telling Vince to suck it, I don't know what is.
Oh yeah. Not AJ Lee.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, AJ Lee. They hate her as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that sad that the last thing I ever heard of her was that she'd done an issue or two of the Glow comic.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that the comic isn't any good, but I don't think that's down to her so much as just the direction they wanted the comic to go in just wasn't interesting. Like, they don't do anything fun with it. Like, I got to read a little bit of it because I hate what they did to Sheila in the show.
Yeah.
I liked the whole crazy wolf woman thing, but that might just be because I thought the gimmick was unique. I don't like the fact... though I will admit I did find the whole turning her into Liza Minnelli hilarious.
Yeah. Well, had the show continued, she might have changed her gimmick.
Well, that's the thing. The show there has been talk of a season 4 being done. The problem I have overall with it is the way it ended was that, if you remember, basically...
Well, had the show continued, she might have changed her gimmick.
Well, that's the thing. The show there has been talk of a season 4 being done. The problem I have overall with it is the way it ended was that, if you remember, basically one of them was too injured to continue working anymore, so it probably wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
One of them had finally proven herself to her family, and they wanted to actually take her to do real wrestling. Which, when you... hold on.
Hey! Sit down.
Bloody hell. Alright, my friend always asks for the weirdest things when it comes to Easter or any holiday. She's asking me for themed tights this year. Apparently she likes to dress in costume and stuff, so when it came to Halloween, she wanted the Halloween-y themed stuff. And plus, because of her body shape, there's only like one website that she knows of that does her specific size.
Right.
But she always wants the gothy stuff. To be honest, she's an inspiration for a lot of my darker characters.
Yeah.
Still remember the name she used to use on MSN when that was a thing. I'm more like a guy than a UFO. Usual female offender. And Trump's been impeached. Did you see that?
Yes, he's been impeached twice.
Yeah, I'm seeing everyone react to it in different ways. I'm kind of the crowd of, well, I'm surprised it took this long. Actually, I'm kind of mad it took this long to have this happen to him.
It only took like people getting injured and.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I noticed someone did another. Oh, Simpsons predicted this and showed a Simpsons character that dressed like a Viking or something breaking into the White House. And I said to my friend, has anyone ever considered maybe it's not them predicting the future, it's that they're making a joke about the future that is so ridiculous that, you know, they don't expect it to happen, and the fact that it's happened has just shown how far we've fallen. I mean, they had, oh my god, they predicted Trump. Yes, because Trump was so ridiculous of a thing that they honestly never thought it would happen. Oh, and I watched another Dark Simpsons this morning that gave me a good laugh.
No. No. That's false.
Homer stops doing stupid things. It's where Marge gets mad at Homer for just doing stupid shit again. And he says, well, if you're going to get mad every time I do something stupid, I'll just have to stop doing stupid things. So he stops doing stupid things and it leads to the kid's death. And Marge literally stops him from going to save them.
I've watched the new one.
Oh, which one? Which one's the new one? Moe's Pet Shop?
No, Homer skips work.
Oh god, yeah, that one. I like that even when it isn't, even when it isn't trying to be funny. That episode is funny just because of the giant spider. And the fact that Homer doesn't do the thing he needs to do, the thing tells him to do. If you wish to escape the spider's curse, simply say a Bible verse. Okay. Thou shalt not. Ah, screw it, he picks up a rock and kills it with it.
I think I might have a train. Hasn't got any change in here, you see. It'll be about half an hour, 45 minutes. Okay. It'll be about half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay. You were courteous for me when I was dealing with my bank shit.
It's alright, Sam. We're just ordering a takeaway tonight.
Sounds good. Support your local business.
I was also thinking of for the Monday Don Quixote to do some things a little bit out of order.
Oh well, yeah. You can't do it one for one. You can't can't exactly just do it one for one.
Yeah.
It's okay to just go completely nuts with some of it.
Yeah. Because I was thinking it's like as soon as he gets the armor and finds the horse, he just goes straight out.
Okay.
He goes straight out and he gets knighted. And then he starts to remember all the other things he needs.
Well, yeah, it is like a sequence of things that he needs.
Yeah. So he's like, right, a good knight is not without his squire.
Of course, he's got to have his squire.
So we're gonna try and introduce the Sancho character.
I'm curious to see what you do with that.
I'll figure something out.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I know you'll figure something out.
Yeah, and the Sancho character is the one that tells him about the supplies.
I do like the idea of him fighting chavs and or people in hoodies and thinking they're warlocks.
And so he gets his squire, he gets a bunch of supplies, and he's like, right, what else do I need? I keep thinking that I have forgotten something. It's like, and then so the Sancho's like, no, I think you pretty much got everything. You can now go on an adventure. And he's like, and he just remembers, I need a lady.
Oh yes, the ladies are pine for.
Yeah, like, where can I find one?
He's Dulcinea.
His version of Dulcinea. He's like, well, you could try dating apps.
Oh god, he's going to find a girl through he's going to find a girl through a dating app. Oh god, is he going to find someone through an OnlyFans? So he's going to simp. So basically, he's just going to simp.
Pretty much, but I haven't quite figured that part out yet.
Well, to be fair, you don't have to just make, you don't have to make him like give money or anything. Just, have someone. He just needs someone to pine for, because ultimately Dulcinea doesn't really do anything. We don't really know anything about her other than she's illiterate and she lives in the village.
Well, the book does reveal she does have a first name. Well, she does have a name.
Ah.
I've forgotten what it is. That's how unimportant she is.
Well, again, she's very unimportant to the actual plot of the story. Well, in terms of her actual involvement, all her real importance is that she's important to Don Quixote.
Yeah. And I've got this theory, like he's not really in love with her. He's just like thinks he is. He just needs something to pine for.
Well, yeah, naturally. I mean, he didn't even really know Dulcinea in the original. He just, she just existed because she was plot convenient.
Yeah. And so, but I was thinking like the end result. It's like he finds someone. He's like, she'll do.
That's a bad day.
It's like, and then the son's just like, well, do you want me to say something? He's like, no.
No.
I must pine for her.
Oh God! Imagine. Oh God! Just.
It's like, are you sure? I mean, wouldn't it be better to just go up to her and talk? Because that's how things are. He's like, no, I am not worthy.
No, he has to earn her approval by, his deeds.
Yeah.
One of those things.
Yeah. I must earn her approval and all that. It's like, well, no, you don't have to do anything. Just go up and talk to her, for God's sake. He's like, no. Speak no more.
Speak no more of your words. I am unworthy.
I'm unworthy. Now, if you'll excuse me, now come along. We must go.
No.
My heart aches looking at her.
Yeah, Mom.
Okay then.
And said that I be on
And there's the whole idea. He's like crossing like a road. He comes to like the toll bridge.
Oh God! The toll bridge.
I don't know, Mom.
It's like, excuse me, mate. Do you have any money to get across? He's like, hold your tongue, troll. Torment these people no more.
Oh God! Imagine if he walks past a shop and then sees a bunch of chavs.
Yeah, probably thinks they're goblins or something.
Oh God! Yeah, he's gonna imagine it. He's gonna see primary school kids as goblins or imps. Devilish imps conjured by a demon sorcerer.
And he goes on to some farmer's field where there's a bunch of scarecrows everywhere, and he thinks they're like whites sent by his enemy, the necromancer.
Oh yes, the necromancer.
He's like, oh, he has sent an army. I shall dispose of him, and he just runs around like decapitating every scarecrow.
Well, you can't have windmills unless he's like in like Denmark or something, or Holland. So you've got to have something that he goes after. But he's got to get. But you know, remember he gets injured during the situation with the. He does get injured during the situation with the windmills, so he's got to get hurt in some capacity with the scarecrows.
Well, the farmer beats him up.
Oh God!
It's like, what are you doing on my land?
What are you doing on my land, you crazy bastard?
It's like, fear not, good farmer. I have rid your land of these undead devils.
Get off my land, you
junkies coming out here.
Nutcase.
You junky bastards coming onto my land, doing your dope. Don't think I haven't noticed. I called the police twice, and they threatened to arrest me for disturbing the peace.
He's destroying my scarecrows. Yeah, it'd be funny if the police just don't take him seriously until they keep hearing more and more and his behaviour is getting worse.
Yeah.
And then they have to take in his Sancho for questioning. But, you know, again, they do the same thing where they understand that it's actual, he's just clearly insane. You people all the same, taking your narcotics and coming onto my land, destroying my property. I suppose next you'll be smashing up me cabbages. Yeah, I think the scarecrow thing is just, I don't know why, but I'm now completely fixated on the scarecrow thing.
And, see, at the beginning he's like a nobody.
Well, naturally, I mean, I don't think Don Quixote was anyone important.
Yeah, I mean, well, Don Quixote was a rich guy, but this guy is like, average.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so, I was thinking for his backstory, he was like, a former, like, cashier at a supermarket.
Well, that isn't completely out of the ordinary.
Yeah. But he got fired.
Oh gee, he got fired. Wonder why.
Well, because he took too long on his breaks.
Yeah, reading his fantasy books.
Yeah. And plus he never really interacted with anyone.
Yeah, that does sound very...
And that's why I think it's like where this, instead of like his niece, you have his sister. So his sister and her husband.
And have to deal with his fucking maniac.
Yeah. And what happens was, is like he was living with his mum, but she passed away. So he's like all on his own. And of course
this
the mother
sound
didn't
very
really...
Christian.
No, I wasn't it was unintentional.
I know it's unintentional. It just, to be honest, there's loads of behaviours Chris Chan has that are very, you know, they're just negative in general. So it's kind of easy to connect them.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, the mother passed away, but in her will, he doesn't get anything.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so she's left the house and all the money to the daughter.
Mainly because she's going to have to look after the nutcase.
Yeah. Because she doesn't trust him with either. And so the daughter and the dad move in. And sort of like, but they kind of leave him to his own devices.
That's never a good thing.
Yeah, and at first the daughter doesn't want to. Well, the daughter doesn't want to kick him out. Well, the daughter's sister doesn't want to kick him out because you know, he's family.
Yeah.
And so he's mostly, and because since he's been fired from his job, he spends like most of his time in his room reading his books. So to them, he's not really hurting anyone.
Well, they're not wrong.
That is until... Yeah. That is all until he decides to become a knight.
Is this like the whole thing where he just goes off and they don't know he's done it? Like he's gone off to become a knight and they just don't notice he's gone?
Yeah. And then, so he awakens one night and he thinks he's hearing like some voices coming from the garage, which he thinks is like a family crypt. And inside it, it's just like it's just the place where the mother keeps a lot of junk.
I was actually thinking about why the armor would be there. Actually,
yeah. And some of the junk was like
I was thinking of it just being a hand-me-down, or just some his family having some connection with some like historical thing. Like it's just armor that their family got, and they just managed to recover it at some point, and have had it restored.
Yeah,
so it's just like a family heirloom.
Well, we're not sure why they have it. It's just like in there as like collecting dust. But then he goes in there, he sees it, and then he's like, the voice is saying, "This is the voice of your ancestors." And is like, you come from a long line of heroic knight-errants.
Oh god, what if one of his character traits is that he mentions made-up stories that his family have somehow done that have been forgotten by history? Like when he wants to do, when he like plans to do something that's clearly insane, and just his default response is something like, "My ancestor once slayed an entire village of goblins. I can manage this."
The world is the land is in great peril. Too many injustices. There are too many injustices. Yeah.
Did you get Colin?
Yes, I got Colin. It was very difficult, by the way, because of the way it's in, because it's only just freshly been put in. But I've got 2 buckets. They're not completely full because it was just difficult. My hand was starting to hurt. But I've gotten 2 buckets. Sorry about that, Ian. What?
Yeah. And so the ancestor's like, well, the ancestor in his head.
Yeah, naturally.
He's just saying, yeah. Take this magic armor with you. It has been handed to our family for many generations.
Yeah, an armor fit only for a hero.
Yeah.
I'm
And
getting
so,
images. I'm
yeah,
getting images.
he puts
Do you remember that? Do you remember that sketch from a bit of Fry and Laurie where he wants to get his kid out of the house, so he makes up that story about. Like, he tells his kid to come in and help him like open this drawer, and when he opens it, he overreacts. Stephen Fry overreacts to the entire thing, and mentions an ancient quest, and pulls out a Swiss Army knife, calling it Burr Whale the Avenger, and makes up this entire story of this monster called Punak the Destroyer. Who will destroy the world, and that he is like this destined child that is destined to defeat this evil villain called Punak. And the weapon is the only thing that can destroy his armor, and it was placed in there and not to be touched until the guy's 18th birthday. And then as soon as he's done and he's left the room, his wife comes in and goes, "Did he buy it?" "Yeah, I hope so." But get the lazy lout out of the house and earning his living. That's what I'm getting from this. Like, that he gets something in his head that makes him believe that this thing is like really, really, really important. Like some ridiculous thing, like maybe the armor's magical.
Yeah.
No, Nicole. Not while I'm streaming.
And so he puts on the armor, and he's like kitted out. Oh, and it comes with a sword as well.
Of course, it has a sword. It's going to make the entire thing more hilarious when he's arrested.
And so he gets into his armour and then he sets out in the middle of the night.
Oh God. Oh God, I'm just thinking of all the ridiculous. I'm just thinking of all the ridiculous things he can do.
Yeah. And of course he steals the horse.
Of course he steals the horse, because where else is he going to get one in the modern day?
And that's when, it's also set in the summer. Yeah, it's the whole sun frying his brain.
Oh yeah, it's the sun. Yeah, the dehydration and the sun frying his brain is one thing, but also the loneliness alone won't be doing any favors for his, for his mind.
So he's like wandering around like the county for like hours until it's like night again, and that's when he finds the hotel.
I never realised how much we need a modern day Don Quixote.
You're having a wiggle boot. Wiggle boot.
Well, there could be a bit where it's like during like one of the other storylines, there's like a bank robbery.
Yeah.
And it's like a very serious moment and all that. And they're about to like foil the robbers. And it comes to the bit where it's like, but wait, this story isn't about any of these people.
Why would it be about them? This is
and And then that's when Don Quixote appears and then botches everything.
Of course.
Robbers get away.
What if he foils some of the robbers and then he demands a reward for his nightly duties, and obviously they're not going to do that, so he just takes it. Because you've got to remember, Don Quixote did a good thing in rescuing, in freeing the slaves, but he did other bad things as well, like stealing, the barber's basin because he thought it was a magic helmet, and he has every right to it as a knight.
You've already had your crisps.
Nicole. Are you getting mad because someone else is having a snack and you've already had yours? Well, you're not entitled to it. No, you're not entitled. No. Just because other people have things doesn't mean you can have it as well. Especially when you've already had it. It's being greedy.
And there will be, like, references to Don Quixote.
Well, naturally, you've got to have some references in there.
Because I want to, like, do, like, a scene that makes a reference to the musical.
Oh, God, the musical.
Yeah. Specifically, making reference to the most famous song from it.
Oh?
The Impossible Dream.
Yeah, I've never really bought into the whole Don Quixote, the dreamer that wishes upon a star, but is born after his time. I've always brought more into Don Quixote, the crazy guy who does nothing but do damage to the world that surrounds him. Because you've got to remember as well, we've got to do something where his actions and his behaviours do lead to people getting hurt.
Yeah.
Nicole, stop throwing a tantrum. No, standing over the guardrail and screaming isn't going to do anything for you.
No!
I just thought of something.
Go on.
Okay. There's like a Sum of Fate.
Okay.
And he thinks it's like a marketplace, like medieval marketplace.
Yeah, like a Renaissance fair.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. And he gets to like a tent that involves like the Women's Institute.
Oh God. Nicole,
Where they're, like,
stop it.
Selling jam. Where they're like selling jam and stuff, like jam tasting and all that. But when he sees them, he thinks they're like a coven of witches with bubbling cauldrons.
Oh god. So we're gonna have the Don Quixote vision.
Yeah. Then he just smashes up the stall.
Calls for them to be burned. Oh god, what if he sets fire to the Women's Institute? To purify the
We'll set fire to the tent.
Nicole, shut up, I can't hear.
Nicole, what is going on? You've had a snack. You've had a speech.
Yeah, so why are you going up to my camera and screaming at it? Sorry about that. She's been very moody tonight.
What's the matter? Nicole, you know that you can always come for a cuddle. You don't need to throw a fit for one.
So he's,
You want to go help Mummy? Check on the tumble dryer. Shall we go check on the tumble dryer?
yeah, so he sets fire to the Women's Institute's tent.
Of course, because of course he does.
Yeah.
Witches!
Basically calling them every name from under the sun.
Yes. Because again, you shall not bewitch any more innocent men.
So yeah, this is like a traumatizing experience.
Well, that's the thing, he's got to have a list of crimes that just keep going on and getting worse.
Yeah.
Well, because again, all the damage he's going to be causing.
Oh dear. That probably means that the sister and the husband has to pay for every single damaged item.
Yes, that is literally what it means. It means that literally they're going to have to pay for all the damage he ends up causing. And the longer they don't notice that he's doing shit, the worse it's going to get.
Yeah. Yeah, they do notice eventually.
Well, yeah, eventually. After he's already done so much damage, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And that's when they decide to like try and bring him home and confine him to his room.
But remember, he's got to do something. It's got to be small time to begin with. Like the damage he's doing, it's got to be small time to begin with. And then they've got to talk about, trying to get him some kind of help. But then he escapes again before it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, before they can do anything to stop him.
I was thinking, it's like, for the ending, it's like they finally get him back, but then they get a knock on the door, and it's like every single person he's like traumatized or whose property is damaged or at the door yelling at them, and he's just escaped out the window. And that's where it ends.
To yet do more adventures.
Yeah. And there shall be no sequel.
No, there shall not be any sequel.
We made the point.
Yeah, that was it. There was never meant to be anything to continue it. Which means there's no need for us to do a sequel whereupon he's basically humiliated for the amusement of basically the medieval equivalent of internet trolls.
Yeah.
Okay, Ollie's just messaged me. Hi, dudes. Sorry if you're still streaming. I would join you, but I'm on PS Now at the moment, also listening to a new Star Wars audiobook. If you're still going on when the insects inevitably destroy my base, I'm playing a survival on a Savage Moon, I'll join. Well, I'm glad to see where his priorities lie. Now, see, the insects are important.
Amazon original movie, One Night in Miami. What, did they get shot?
Oh, God. I like that guy, that Spanish guy. Don Quixote? No, you know, the one who fights the windmills. Don Quixote. No, the other one. I'm pretty sure that was the character's name. I'll go check. Well, what was it? Never mind.
Yeah, I remember one person commenting about Don Quixote on the overly sarcastic video. It's like, Don Quixote says Don Quixote was the Florida man of his time.
Oh, God.
And apparently Don Quixote is highly recommended for D&D players.
Oh, yeah. That actually makes more sense than it actually should.
Yeah. And there's a lot of debate amongst the D&D players, like, what class would he be?
Hard to really say, because he'd have to have... Because he uses a spear, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, the one I hear the most is that is fighter.
Probably, I mean... It'd be hard to say it's hard to say which class Don Quixote would be, based purely on the fact that, well, his morality is interesting to say the least, but also his use of weaponry, like, he's not limited.
Anyway,
You have to go, but your food's here, right?
yeah, dinner might be here in a minute.
That's
so,
fine. That's fine. You've
I'll
ordered
log back on
takeout.
if it's still on.
Well, I'll probably still be on. So I'll see you. I'll probably see you soon.
Okay, see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, Nicole. Don't cough on me or into my ear. Well, Charlotte got her parcels.
That's good.
She's just too sick to try them. They all came at the same time.
Oh, good timing, I suppose.
Yeah. She asked if I'm going to buy you any of those tights from that thing. I went, yeah, probably. I've been thinking about it.
Definitely the purple ones would be.
Well, that's the thing. I said I'd probably buy the purple one. She's going, you should buy some for yourself. And I'm like, I'm not in that shape anymore.
You're in better shape than I am.
Yeah, but
I've
that's
got more of a belly.
yeah, but that's not saying much. Saying I've got a better body than you, yeah, because I didn't have the damage done by the medication. I'm not saying that to insult you, and I'm simply saying it as a fact. You've had a lot more things do a lot more damage to you. I've only had mental damage do stuff to my body in recent years. So I've got less to do to fix myself. Though I'm just hoping it all bloody fits, because they already sent me a message through to say they can't take the bodysuit back if it don't fit her. What's it? Fucking
Where did you
bad.
get that one from?
eBay. Though it was an Ann Summers one, so it was probably one of their some of their old stock that they were trying to get rid of. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind seeing you in a big old bunny suit.
Summers can have small sizes though. So.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's one of my biggest worries.
Because I think Bondura's got a 10% off sale right now.
Well, the thing is, I've just spent fuck tons of money on coal.
I'll give you money towards it.
I know you did. But I'm also preparing for the next payment. Let's see. Expensive schedule.
Super!
So what are you thinking for dinner tonight?
I'm not sure.
You do pizza.
I suppose we could.
Oh, it's your hand.
Those your toes.
You got fat feet.
I've got fat feet.
Yeah, you got chubby feet. Chubby baby.
Ow!
She's exactly the weight she needs to be. There's a whole thing in Archer where Mallory keeps starving the child and only giving it little bits of ice to suckle on because she feels the baby's too fat. And Lana keeps saying, she weighs exactly this, and that is exactly how much she is meant to weigh.
Yeah.
Keeping in mind that, of course, Mallory raised children terribly.
Ow! So far.
This is probably because you didn't get him that bike he wanted. He was 30! And then she kept burning down his schools because the people wouldn't sleep with her. Except for the military school. That guy was gay. So then she burnt it down anyway. Or at least it's implied. So how's this change in, like, socket arrangement worked for you?
I think it's good.
Good. Just wanted to make sure how it works in practice. Oh no, they're going to kidnap one of my hostesses. Because of course they are. Good, she needs a break anyway, so let's do a cast. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a roster reshuffle. Give I a break. No, you're coughing quite a lot, baby girl. You seen something interesting? Nicole, what? What's funny?
I want to read, please.
Yeah, big. Don't. Don't. I don't know, but. What? Okay. Oh, yeah.
Afraid I'm going to work at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Here's a list of flowers. Yeah, flowers. Yeah, those are these notes. This is my butt list. Tickling my nipple. Yeah, Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing. No. Animal Crossing Notes. Animal Crossing Notes. Crossing Animal Notes. Where's Aki? Tabitha. Crossing. 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 Okay, that's getting annoying. Notes. Animal. Animal Crossing Notes. Notes. Onion. I didn't know we had onions. What? Pink. Flowers. Red. White. Pink. Orange. Red. Red. Orange. Pink. Pink. Orange. Flowers.
And
Orange.
oh, the ice.
Flowers.
The ice.
Ouch.
Ice.
Flowers.
This one.
Animal Crossing jokes.
That backwards.
White.
On,
White.
on,
Flowers. Don't bend my finger back.
on.
Pinky. Pinky.
No, it. On.
Black. Black. Tulip. Black. Purple.
On. On. On.
Orange.
On.
Red. White. Yellow. Cosmos.
On. On.
Gold.
Pink.
Purple. Black.
On. Yeah. On. Baby.
I'm gonna cut it here and I'm gonna go for dinner. So thank you for joining us, and I'll probably be back later.